From translation, Net New English Translation. This 57th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Numbers 35 to 36. Numbers chapter 35, verses 1 to 34. The Lord said to Moses on the plains of Moab, by the Jordan across from Jericho, "Command the Israelites to give the Levites some of their inheritance as cities to live in, and you must give them pasture land around the cities. The cities will be for them to live in, and their pasture land will be for their herds, their flocks, and all their other animals. The pasture lands of the cities you are to give to the Levites will extend from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. Then you are to measure outside the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits, with the city in the center. This will belong to them as pasture land for the cities. Among these cities you must give the Levites pasture lands for their herds, for their property, and for all their animals. The cities you give the Levites will consist of 6 cities of refuge, which you will give for a person to flee to for causing an unintentional killing. In addition to these, you must give them 42 other cities. In all, the Levites must have 48 cities, including the pasture lands of their cities. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, designate cities to be cities of refuge for you, so that someone who kills a person unintentionally may flee there. These cities will serve as a refuge from the avenger, so that the one who unintentionally kills will not die before he stands trial before the assembly. You must designate 6 cities of refuge for yourselves. Designate 3 cities across the Jordan, and 3 more in the land of Canaan. These 6 cities will be places of refuge for the Israelites, for the foreigner, and for any temporary residents among them, so that anyone who kills a person unintentionally may flee there. If someone strikes another person with an iron implement so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer must be put to death. Or if someone strikes another person with a stone capable of causing death, so that he dies, the murderer must be put to death. Or if someone strikes another person with a wooden implement capable of causing death, so that he dies, the murderer must be put to death. The avenger of blood must put the murderer to death. When he encounters him, he must put him to death. But if someone pushes another person suddenly without enmity, or throws something at him unintentionally, or in some other way throws a stone down on him without seeing him, so that he dies, though he was not his enemy and he did not intend to harm him, then the assembly must judge between the one who struck and the avenger of blood according to these regulations. The assembly must protect the one who committed an unintentional killing from the avenger of blood. These regulations must be kept by you as a statute for your future generations in all the places where you live. But if someone acts presumptuously toward his neighbor and kills him intentionally, you are to take him from my altar to be put to death. If someone kills his neighbor intentionally, you are to take him from my altar to be put to death. You must not accept a ransom for the life of someone who is guilty of murder. He must be put to death. Likewise, you must not accept a ransom for someone who has fled to his city of refuge, allowing him to return and live in the land until the death of the high priest. Only after the death of the high priest may the one who has unintentionally killed another return to the land where he owns property. Whoever kills a person, the murderer must be put to death, on the testimony of witnesses. But no one is to be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. You must not accept a ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death. He must be put to death. You must not defile the land where you live, for blood defiles the land, and the land cannot have its sin atoned for by the blood of the one who is killed, except by the blood of the one who shed it. You must not defile the land where you live, in which I am dwelling, for I, the Lord, am dwelling among the Israelites. You shall not defile the land in which you live, in the midst of which I dwell. For I, the Lord, dwell among the Israelites. Numbers chapter 36, verses 1 to 12. The heads of the families of the descendants of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, from the families of the descendants of Joseph, came near and spoke before Moses and before the leaders, the heads of the families of the Israelites. They said, "The Lord commanded my Lord to give the land as an inheritance by lot to the Israelites, and my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. But if they are married to any of the men from the other Israelite tribes, their inheritance will be taken away from our inheritance and added to that of the tribe to which they are married. So it will be taken away from the allotted portion of our inheritance. And when the Jubilee of the Israelites comes, their inheritance will be added to that of the tribe to which they are married, and their inheritance will be taken away from the tribe of our ancestors." Then Moses at the Lord's command commanded the Israelites, saying, "What the tribe of the descendants of Joseph has said is right. This is what the Lord commands for the daughters of Zelophehad. They may marry anyone they want, as long as they marry within a clan of their ancestral tribe. No inheritance of the Israelites may pass from one tribe to another, but every one of the Israelite tribes must retain its own inheritance. The daughters of Zelophehad did as the Lord commanded Moses. For Mahlah, Tirzah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, married their cousins on their father's side. They married within the clans of the descendants of Manasseh son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained within the tribe of their father's clan. These are the commands and the regulations that the Lord commanded through Moses to the Israelites on the plains of Moab, by the Jordan across from Jericho.